Recon Team Bravo reporting in. 3 and 6 in position. It's starting to get crowded up here, Cat.
Then we're closing in. Report to any Covenant structures or devices. Direct action may be necessary.
Copy that. When Cat runs an op, direct action is always necessary. Here, you may need these. High velocity, armor piercing. They'll take the hat off an elite at 2,000 yards. And they ain't cheap. I'll be in touch.
Hey, what's up everyone? Nick here. Welcome back to the Halo Reach Legendary walkthrough. This is single player, and we are moving on to Chapter 4, Nightfall. This is a really cool level. So at the very beginning here, we're going to be introduced to this new mechanic that was introduced in Halo Reach, and this is the assassination takedown. So when you sneak up behind an enemy, or you don't even really have to sneak up behind them, but when you hit an enemy in the back, your character, if you hold the button, your character will do this really cool assassination animation, and that's something that Halo Reach started. And so if you were to pick up Halo 4 or Halo 5 and play that game, you would see that being done, and someone might assume, oh, that's just a normal Halo thing. But that's not the case. That was introduced in Halo Reach. And so at the very beginning here, there's going to be a ton of elites. They might not be on that rooftop, but they will be on one of these rooftops, and they're just going to all be hanging out. And so this level really starts off kind of with this stealth approach. So with the sniper rifle, you're going to want to make quick work of these guys. So you're going to see right here, 1 headshot, 2 headshots, and now I'm just going to go to town. Now, the reason those headshots killed the elites immediately is because these are the jetpack elites. These are the guys with the weakest shields. So even on legendary difficulty, 1 headshot will kill them. However, any other elite, if you shoot them in the head, they won't die. So watch this. 1, 2. So I shot that guy twice, and he didn't die. And that's just what you have to deal with on legendary. Sometimes they don't die from 1 hit. Oftentimes, the only guys that will die from 1 hit are, like I said, the jetpack elites that have the camouflage armor. Other than that, you're probably going to have to shoot them twice, sometimes 3 times. Like, for example, if it was a zealot, you'd probably have to shoot him like 4 times, because the zealot class elites are the strongest. But you see right there, 1 hit, 1 kill, easy to do. And so I'm just going to kind of stay up on this cliffside, taking out the enemies from far away. You'll see that I just unlocked a checkpoint. You'll unlock a couple of checkpoints. June is going to be up there kind of doing his own thing. He'll help you out. Now, there were a couple enemies that I actually passed, so you didn't see it, but there was a split in the path. You could either go down or up. Now, if you go down, there's going to be some enemies. If you go up, you can bypass them. But if you bypass them, you have to be careful, because if, let's say that during this fight the enemies kind of force you back, well, then you're going to be pinned down with enemies on both sides. So on one hand, it might pay to just defeat those enemies before you get here. On the other, you can do what I'm doing here, and if it comes to that, it comes to that, and we'll deal with it when it does. But other than that, we're just going to kind of finish off the fight. You start this level with a sniper rifle and a magnum, so you are very well equipped. You don't even need the plasma pistol, because the elites that you're going to have to kill, you can just use your sniper rifles. So I'm going to stick to these 2 weapons, and you'll see that you actually get a lot of ammo for both weapons. So I'm going to hold on to these for as long as I possibly can.
This one's mine.
But yeah, so like what I was talking about with the assassinations, that's something that Halo Reach pioneered, and Halo Reach did a few other things. You know, what we're seeing right now, the fact that we are not just playing as one, well, okay, so we're playing the whole game as Noble 6, but we're not by ourselves the entire game. In the first level, we were with the entire Noble team. In the second level, we were with Noble 2, and now we're with Noble 3, June, who is the sniper of the group. So we get introduced to a lot more characters. We get this whole team environment, which is something you do not get in the regular Halo games. In the regular Halo games, you just play as Master Chief with Cortana, and that's it. It's just you the entire game. So this game really did, in my opinion, pioneer a lot of successful things in the Halo franchise. Another thing, probably the biggest thing, is this was the game that introduced the sprinting mechanic. You can also do other abilities like armor lock and invisibility later on and stuff like that. But Halo Reach was a big deal, and there's a reason that it is one of the highest rated Halo games to date. And those reasons I mentioned are the reasons. It's a fantastic game. It's a game I love very much. It's my favorite game in the Halo franchise. In fact, the biggest complaint, so get this, the biggest complaint that this game gets is that it's too short. And I think that just speaks volumes to the quality of this game. If people are saying that their only complaint with the game is that it didn't last long enough, I mean, imagine how good that game is. That means that people just wanted more. They didn't want it to end. And I feel the same way. When I first played the game, I loved it, and I just wished there was more to do. Now, this game did have firefight, which is kind of like if you've ever played Gears of War. It's like Horde, but in Halo, it's just kind of you fight wave upon wave of enemies and try to get as far as you can, which is fun. But I've never been a huge fan of that game mode. But Halo Reach it pioneered a lot of stuff in the Halo franchise, and yeah, like I said, the biggest complaint is that it's just not long enough, which is something that I agree with. And so you'll notice that every single level, about on average, is 40 minutes long. I'd say that in the other Halo games, it's probably like 50 minutes to an hour long for every level. But also keep in mind that I'm playing on Legendary. So like this fight right here, I'm being much more patient, much more timid than I would be if I were playing on normal. If I was playing on normal, I would be zipping through this, no problem at all. I could probably beat this level in 25 minutes instead of 40 minutes. So even now, even with the longer lengths, that's only because it's on Legendary mode. So if I was playing this on normal, the game would be even shorter, which is just insane. Especially too, the game itself is 11 chapters, but chapter 1 is just a cutscene. So that automatically reduces it to 10 chapters, and chapter 11 is also kind of just a cutscene. There's a little bit more going on, but all in all, it's just for entertainment. It's not really a level. So that being said, the game is really only 9 levels long. And, you know, each level is 40 minutes, so you can go ahead and crunch the numbers to find out how long that is, but it's not very long, especially when you hold it to the standards of other Halo games, but that's okay. You know, at the end of the day, I enjoy a short, sweet game versus a long game that you just get sick of by the end of it, so I'd much rather the former. Alright, so you're going to want to kill that elite that's up there on the tower, and now over to the right there's going to be a handful of guys. There's going to be some grunts, there's going to be another elite, and in fact, this elite, you're going to see here, this guy just gives me a hell of a time. The elites are really fast on Legendary, and they do this thing where if you're aiming your weapon at them, they'll just automatically know it. So even if the enemies aren't looking at you, once you put your reticle on them, they'll start moving. That's just how the game is programmed. And on Legendary, that is intensified. But you see right here, there's this golden elite that rushed me, and I don't know what it was. Maybe I was nervous. Maybe he's just the fastest elite to ever live, but I just could not kill this guy. I wasted so much sniper rifle on him. What should have been 2 shots turned into about 8 shots, I think, and what should have taken me 10 seconds ended up taking me like 2 minutes. And you can see here, I'm in a position where I can't really move that well. I don't have a lot of cover options. Again, right there, I swear to God, I hit him 3 times, but somehow it just didn't register. Maybe I missed, and now I'm going to resort to throwing grenades. I'm going to try to finish him off with my pistol, but I don't want to waste all of my pistol ammo on one elite. Sometimes, though, this just happens. You know, you could have a perfect playthrough. You could be killing it. Like that whole first fight, I didn't die once. It was pretty fluid. And now just this one elite is throwing off my entire rhythm. Finally, he goes down. But he definitely earned my respect for that. Alright, and so once he's out of the way, June hopefully had cleared out all the little guys while you were focusing on him. If not, then just clear the area. There are some health packs lying around. You might want to look around for some ammo, because at this point you might be running low on the Magnum. I have 12 rounds left, but I would prefer to have more. So always just take the time to look around a bit. And then once you're ready to move on, in this little alley to the right, there's going to be a few more enemies, just some grunts and jackals. So take them out. Now the jackals are very annoying enemies. They have those circular shields, and usually what you have to do to kill them is there's a hole in the shield where their hand is, and you have to shoot their hand. That will cause them to flinch, and then while they're flinching, you can shoot them in the head. But it's very easy to miss, and it's a very easy way to waste a lot of ammo, so you want to be careful. Alright, so in this open area here, you're going to see a native animal species to Planet Reach. And this thing is violent, so you don't want to piss this thing off. You just want to keep your distance. You can see how he's over there tearing the Covenant to shreds. Now, this is kind of a good thing, because that means that both parties aren't going to really pay much attention to us. The Covenant are trying to kill the animal's trying to kill the Covenant, so we can kind of just sneak around the outskirts here. And then you'll see that the poor animal actually got killed. So I believe you can kill the animal, but in the end, the Covenant will probably do the job for you. So you kind of feel bad because, you know, the animal isn't, the animal's not necessarily trying to kill people. It's just, you get these Covenant aliens showing up, and I'm sure the animal got scared. But you can see this thing is quite scary as well. This thing, you don't want to run into that in a dark alley in the middle of the night. I'll go ahead and punch him in the face just to make sure he's down. And now we're good to move on to the next area. Sometimes you might want to turn on your night vision. It's a little easier to spot ammo that way. So if you're starting to run low on ammo, it doesn't hurt to just flick on night vision and check it out. If you don't know how to do that, it's left on the directional pad. I'm using recon controls though, so it might be different if you're using defaults or a different control scheme. You're going to come to the fork in the road here. It doesn't matter which way you go. I'm just going to go the same way as June so that him and I can kind of fight together. And now you're going to come to this big open area. There's going to be a lot of Covenant around, and there's going to be a few soldiers fighting the Covenant. And you're going to want to help them out. So right off the bat, I'm just going to stay far away, and I'm going to kill as many elites as I can with my sniper rifle. You typically are only going to want to use the sniper rifle against elites. You don't want to waste this weapon on grunts or jackals. If you have no other weapon, then sure, or you know, sometimes it just the grunts are in a perfect position, so you might as well take them out while you can. But in general, you don't want to waste the sniper rifle on grunts. So again, I'm just kind of sticking to the outskirts of the map. That's something you just kind of have to get used to doing on Legendary. You don't want to run into the center of the map. So like, for example, again, if I was playing on normal mode, even possibly heroic mode, if I was on one of those difficulties, you would see me just kind of running out into the open, kicking ass and taking names. But because this is Legendary, you just got to be patient. You got to kind of sit back and you know, don't be overly aggressive, because that's a really easy way to get yourself killed. Because you look at it and, you know, 3 grunts aren't that much of a threat, but when you're on Legendary mode, your shields go down very quickly, and those 3 grunts can essentially equal 1 elite. I don't know if I'd say it was those exact numbers, but you kind of get my point. Like, just a handful of grunts that would normally never be a threat on Legendary can be a threat, so you got to be careful. Anyway, you have some room to maneuver here, so definitely make use of the map to flank the enemies. So you saw that there were a couple enemies left standing, so that's why I'm kind of running over here to this bridge to try to get a better position on them. Now you're going to see I come into another scenario where the elite just gave me a really hard time, and I don't have a plasma pistol. I wasn't able to get close to do that anyway. So you're going to see that this elite just really kind of gives me a tough time. It's really annoying, but like I said, it's something you just got to put up with. Before I focus on the elite, though, there is another jackal in the area, so I'm trying to take him out from far away. Again, you can see how many rounds of mine he just ate up. There's going to be a couple grunts that come out as well, so make sure you take care of them. And then there's going to be, so you see on this rooftop up to the left, there's the elite, and there's also a jackal that I need to worry about. So I'm in kind of a tough position because I'm not standing in the best location, but it will do. The important thing is you want to be somewhere where that if you need to make a run for it, you have plenty of room to turn around and do that run. Now you're going to see right here exactly what I'm talking about. This elite, look how he moves. Like, he does not move naturally. He just runs from side to side. He's really fast. I mean, I'm intentionally not shooting right now because I just wanted to show you how much the enemies move when you're aiming at them. Like, it's kind of absurd. It's just one of those Halo things that frequent players get used to. but it can be really annoying. It can really eat up your ammo. But I mean, realistically, it makes sense. If I was on a rooftop and I saw a sniper aiming his gun at me, I would be running around like crazy trying not to get hit. So I can't blame it from like a realistic standpoint. I can just criticize it from an annoyance standpoint. But at the end of the day, I can't say I blame the elite for doing what he's doing. Anyway, I'm gonna finish him off with my pistol. That was really close. It was a little sloppy, but you can't always be perfect. And now all that's left is the one jackal that I was talking about. And as soon as you kill him, get ready because some dropships are going to show up and you're going to have to fight about 3 waves of enemies until you're done with this area. So this can be a pretty tough fight. Alright, so the jackal is now taken care of. So now you're going to want to very quickly resupply. There's grenades here, there's pistol ammo, there's probably not a lot of sniper rifle ammo. There is a DMR over by the bridge that I was on earlier, but I'm actually going to ignore it for now because I want to save it for later. So I'm going to do this whole thing without the DMR. Now you see this Phantom, this is the first one that's going to show up. You can kind of try to cheat. You can watch the dropship open and you can try to shoot these guys. So you're going to see right here, the door's open. I'm going to try to kill at least one of these elites before they hit the ground, but I just wasn't able to do it, even though I shot him twice. Sorry if you just heard that. Someone's car alarm went off outside of my room. Yeah, that's annoying. But I'm not going to redo the whole recording because of it. Alright, so anyway, I'm going to stand kind of in the center of the map here. Some jackals are going to start rushing me. And then we're going to have to worry about the elites. So that is why you saw me pick up a plasma pistol, because now I'm going to put it to use. So there's going to be about 2 or 3 elites out here. That's why. So plasma pistol, pop a headshot. 1 down. Do the same thing to the second one. It's unbelievable how effective this strategy is. I am like kicking myself because the first time in high school when I played this game on Legendary by myself, it was at the time it was one of the hardest things I'd ever done in a video game. And I just look back then I didn't even know that you could do that trick. I did not know about the plasma pistol trick. And I killed every elite with ordinary weapons, and it's just insane how hard it was. And now I'm kind of zipping through this game. I haven't even died that much, and it's because of that trick. And it's just, oh, I wish I could go back in time. I would have saved myself a lot of effort had I known that when I played it. But again, like I said, Halo Reach is the game that really first got me into Halo, so I didn't know a lot of the tricks when I first started playing. And it's a good thing I didn't make walkthroughs back then, otherwise my walkthrough would be very inefficient. Alright, so you probably saw the second Phantom came and dropped off some goons, so now we're going to start taking them out as well. Again, plasma pistol, boom, headshot. In case you're curious, that thing you see right there, the pinpoint, those are these ribbons, these medals you unlock in Halo Reach, another new feature that the game added. I'm telling you, this game was very innovative. There's all these little challenges and accommodations where, you know, if you kill 200 enemies, maybe you get a bronze rank. If you kill 1,000 enemies, you get a silver rank, and so on and so forth. And there's all sorts of challenges you can unlock, and every time you do, you get experience points, which helps you build up your character level. So that's that was another cool thing I thought, was you can actually increase your level not only through multiplayer matches but also through doing different things in the Halo campaign. And given me, I always prefer campaign, but this game here, I played a lot of multiplayer on this game. I was addicted to the multiplayer, and I was pretty good too. I guess, let's see, if you ever want to look up my statistics, I'm sure that information is online. I don't know if they keep track of it all, but yeah, I played a lot of multiplayer in this game, and I was pretty good. But then Halo just started to go downhill, in my opinion, for multiplayer, and I haven't really gotten into it since Halo 4. I hated the multiplayer in Halo 5. I absolutely despise it. I kind of despise everything about Halo 5, to be honest, but that's a story for another day. Actually, but you know what is interesting, which I will share, is, you know, so I've played Halo Reach probably 4 times in my life, and I've played Halo 1 probably 6 times, and then the other games a handful of times. Halo 5 is the only Halo game that I've only played once. I played it once, and I never touched it again, because I really just did not care for the campaign. But that's another reason that I'm doing this walkthrough for my channel, is because I've been wanting to revisit Halo 5 to get all the achievements and stuff. And I thought, well, you know what better way to do it than to just start from the beginning and share it with you guys on my channel. Alright, so now that we are done with this area, you see that I'm going to pick up the DMR. It's on that bridge, just like I told you. If you have to use the DMR during that fight, then you can. But like I said, I wanted to save it for the upcoming area because it's going to help me out a lot more than it would have here. So that's kind of one of the strategies of being familiar with a game, not just a Halo game, but in general. When you're familiar with a game, you can plan ahead. And if you know what's coming, then you can stockpile the necessary weapons to make your life a little easier, and that's exactly what you're going to see me doing here. And then, of course, that's the advantage of watching a walkthrough. If you aren't familiar with the game, then I'll tell you what's coming next, or at least I'll tell you how to prepare for what's coming next. And on that note, the channel is continuing to grow, which is exciting. I just passed 1,400 subscribers. It's amazing because it was just last year that I was only at 100 subscribers. Now, literally, the time I'm recording this commentary, it's been exactly 1 year since Gears of War 4 came out. And that's the game that really launched my channel. So exactly 1 year ago, I was at only 100 subscribers. And now I'm at 1,400. It's just, it's been insane. I've met some really cool people through YouTube, and it's been a really rewarding experience. But let's stop with the sentimental stuff and stick to the Killing Covenant stuff. So over in the distance, you're going to see this bridge. There's going to be a few enemies, but what you can do is you can actually do this first part with a bit of stealth, and that's exactly what I'm going to do here. So on this bridge, there's going to be a couple grunts, and then there's going to be an elite. You're going to want to sneak up behind the elite to perform an assassination. You're going to see what happens to me is I end up killing the grunts, and I do kill the elite, but I wasn't able to maintain stealth the whole time. So I'm going to kill these two grunts. That elite saw me at the very last second, so I'm going to sneak up behind him, hit him a couple times. You see I took a bit more damage than I wanted to. That's okay, but perhaps you can do that a little less sloppy than I did. But anyway, now we're going to kind of face the same situation as before. We come to this area with, you can see this giant spire in the center. So in this area, there's a lot of enemies. We have to clear the area. Once we clear the area, June is going to plant charges on the spire to blow it up. And while he's doing that, a couple dropships are going to come and make our life harder. So that's something that we're going to have to handle. There's also going to be a couple hunters. So we fought 2 hunters back in the previous level. We're going to fight 2 more in this level. Alright. So there's that turret up there that's kind of pinning me down. You can shoot the guys out of the turret. It's just a little hard to do, but you see right there I got him. Good to go. In fact, sometimes it's actually beneficial for an enemy to be on a turret because then they can't move and you can just keep shooting them with headshots. So occasionally, if you see an elite hop onto a turret, it's actually a good thing because then you can just keep shooting them in the head and they can do nothing about it. Assuming you're in a good position where they can't really hurt you. Alright, so now we're just moving up the map, trying to clear these guys out. June is going to go left, so I decided to go right. You're going to see things get a bit hectic in this fight, but that's just something you got to deal with. There's going to be a ton of guys. There's going to be jackals, there's going to be grunts, there's going to be elites, and I'm about to just go off on them with some good old-fashioned gunplay. So here we go. I'm going to scale the hill. There are a lot of rocks in the area, so there's a lot of natural cover that you can use, and that's very helpful. So there's Jackal number 1, Jackal number 2. The elite's trying to get me, but that's why I'm standing near these rocks. Now you do have to be careful because the elite is carrying a sticky grenade launcher. That's a weapon that we saw back in level 2, or sorry, level 3. So you got to be careful of that. There's another Jackal. Now we're going to start focusing on the elites. Again, you can see just how random the checkpoints in Halo are. I just got a checkpoint. You would think that I wouldn't get a checkpoint until after I cleared out the area, but that's just not how it works. I don't know how the Halo checkpoints are programmed, but that's just something that happens. Alright, and so now June has joined me over here, so I'm going to use June to my advantage. I'm going to try to get him to distract the elites, and then I can finish them off with the headshots, or a headshot. So you see right here, you do have to be careful. The enemies will also try to flank you, so we are not the only ones that know how to flank an enemy, so you got to be careful with that. But yeah, so the AI in this game, they aren't bad. So they can distract the enemies for you. Sometimes they can even cause some damage and make your life a little easier. But now we're going to start focusing on this guy. So ideally, I would like to have a plasma pistol, and you can see that they're all over the place. But I kind of figured I'll just take this guy out with a couple standard headshots, and we're good to go.
Gonna take a minute. Keep your eyes peeled.
Alright, so June is now going to start planting the charges, even though we haven't actually cleared out the area. So you're going to see a little awkward cut in the video here. So right now I got the checkpoint, and here we go. So June's going to be planting the charges, and I'm going to run over here. This part actually was tough for me. I died about 6 times, and I finally found the perfect place. So you're going to go to this corner of the map over here. So just to give you some reference, that's where the dropship is. You can see the yellow target indicator. That's where June is. And that's just to give you some reference as to where I am. And what I'm going to do is you can actually hop up onto this rooftop here. And on top, there is a sniper rifle. And so what you're going to have to deal with here is there are 2 invisible elites, and there are 2 hunters. Now, since we came all the way over to this end of the map, we're not going to have to worry about the elites immediately. We are going to have to kill them, and they are going to make our lives a little tougher, but we don't have to worry about them immediately. You can see one off in the distance right here. Since I saw him, I might as well kill him. So there you go, he's dead. The second one's not going to come around for a while. So what I'm doing is I'm just waiting for him because I thought he would be coming, but he never showed up. And so now I'm going to go to work on the hunters. So again, I said there's this sniper rifle on the roof, and if you remember in the last video, I said that the easiest way to kill a hunter is by shooting it in the back. And so check this out. The hunters are completely distracted with June right now, and I'm too far away for them to even notice me. So this guy has his back turned to me, and I'm just going to keep shooting him in the back, and you see right there, it took 6 shots, and he's dead. So in literally 10 seconds, I already killed a hunter. And it's really easy. And so again, I'm going to stick to the same thing here. Unfortunately, this hunter, June is standing in between us, so the hunter's not turning his back yet. So I'm going to try to shoot him in the neck instead, because that's the next best place. But obviously, it's a little harder to hit than the back. So I'm just going to kind of be patient, and hopefully June will get this guy to turn around, which you'll see eventually he does, and then I can finish him off by shooting him in the back a couple times. But for now, I'll go for neck shots. But yeah, so the cool thing is, even though your objective right now is to defend June, June cannot actually die. So you have nothing to worry about. You could completely run away, and June will not get killed. So use that to your advantage. That's why I decided to run so far away and just shoot them from a distance, because I knew June wasn't going to die. And now you see, as soon as I made myself visible, the second elite showed up. I started to panic a bit because he almost killed me. But now I'm going to finish the job. So here we go, and he's dead. And with that, we are done with this section. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run back to this room that I was at previously. Inside is a health pack, so since I took a bit of damage there, I'm going to pick it up. And I'm going to stick with the pistol and the DMR. Now, you'll notice, I'm going to leave the sniper rifle. I don't really need it for the upcoming section. Take whatever guns you feel most comfortable with. If you want, you can use a plasma pistol. But my philosophy is always that it's very easy to find a plasma pistol. It's not so easy to find a human pistol. So whenever I'm presented a choice, I always take the pistol, because I know that if I need a plasma pistol, it shouldn't be too hard to get one. Now right here, you're supposed to go through these doors. For some reason, they just weren't opening for me yet. And I thought it had something to do with June, because I think June was supposed to join me, but it looks like he might have gotten stuck. So I'm just going to kind of get him unstuck.
Check your target.
Sorry, dude. Alright, and now you'll see that once I reapproach the door, it'll open up just like it should. And now we have about, I want to say, 7 minutes of gameplay left. Pretty standard firefight here. There's going to be some elites in the area, some grunts, some jackals, you name it. Probably the hardest part about this current fight is that there are going to be a lot of turrets. So you got to be careful. You got to move up slowly and take out the turrets first and foremost. Those things will rip you to shreds on this difficulty. You know, I remember, I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts about this when it comes to first person, for the longest time, and yeah, perhaps even still. When it comes to first person shooters, people typically regard Halo and Call of Duty as the big two. There's kind of a huge fan base war going on between Halo fans and Call of Duty fans. It's been going on forever. And I want to know your guys' opinion. Which do you prefer, or do you not even care? And if you do have a preference, why is that so? Because the weird thing is, I had this friend in middle school. I'm not going to say his name. I'll just call him. I don't want to call him out or anything. I'll just call him Tim. So I had this friend Tim in high school, and him and I were really good friends, and we played a lot of Halo together, a lot of multiplayer. We would stay up till 3 in the morning switching on and off playing Halo. And then, you know, Tim and I aren't friends anymore for a number of reasons. He started to just not really want to be my friend for whatever reason. But what ended up happening was, once he stopped being my friend, he all of a sudden started playing a lot more Call of Duty. He switched over to Call of Duty, and that's all he played. And because at the time I didn't really play Call of Duty, I didn't do that with him. You know, later on down the road, I would become really good at Call of Duty and really interested in it. But at the time, I didn't play Call of Duty. So anyway, my friend who had been so passionate about Halo all of a sudden wanted nothing to do with it. And I asked him one day, I said, why the sudden switch? Why don't you like Halo anymore? And he said that Halo is too cartoonish. And I was just dumbfounded. I was like, what the hell what does that mean? And he goes, it's just too much like a kid's game. And I said, Tim, we're literally running around as a space marine shooting aliens in the head. How is that for kids? And Tim is a very stubborn, kind of annoying person, if you ask me. But the point is, he just wouldn't defend his reasoning. He just said, Halo is too cartoonish, I stick to Call of Duty now because that's a realistic game. So that was his arguing for it. Now for me, I always thought the idea of only liking one franchise was stupid. Like, you get these people that argue over Marvel versus DC, and they act like you can't like both of them. Now, personally, me, I only like DC. It's not that I hate Marvel because I like DC. It's just that I just don't really care for Marvel. Even if I didn't like DC, I still wouldn't really care for Marvel. So my philosophy is I just never limit myself. I love Halo. I loved Call of Duty. I started to fall off, but I am looking forward to the new Call of Duty. But the point is, I love both franchises. I never partook in that fan war trying to pick a side because I just think that's ridiculous. You know, no one's forcing you to limit yourself like that, so why do it? I don't know, I'm just getting way off topic because this final fight, there's not a whole lot going on. This is just kind of a standard firefight. There's a lot of cover and stuff like that. You're going to see these two elites off in the distance. These are the jetpack elites, so I'm going to finish them off with my DMR. Unfortunately, I'm about to get myself in a tough situation, so I just ran out of ammo for my DMR. So right now I have a pistol and a plasma pistol, and there's a few more elites to take down. And you're going to see I end up running out of ammo and getting myself in kind of a tough situation. So let's see how this unfolds. Here's the first elite. He's done for. Now there's going to be an enemy on the turret over there, so I can't really advance yet. So I got to take out that guy on the turret before I can do anything. So I'm going to stand behind this rock formation, and I'm just going to try to take him out with my pistol. It's a little challenging, but give it enough time and you should be able to nail the shot. These rocks provide excellent cover. If things start to get heated, just back up a couple steps and you're fine. So you see I took him out right there. However, there's a couple enemies down here that are trying to kind of flank me, so I got to worry about them as well. So again, I'm just kind of hugging this rock formation. You can see that another enemy jumped on the turret. So I tried to use grenades, but that was not very effective. So what I'm going to do is just kind of try to focus on the little guys since they're easier to kill. I'm just going to ignore the elites for now, but you're going to see that there's actually 2 elites left, and I'm going to run into a bit of a problem when it comes to killing them. Alright, so most of the little guys are done for now, and so now I can try to start tackling the elites. But you can see that they're just really far away. And now you're about to see that I am running very low on the plasma pistol. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to speed up the footage, because what I was trying to do here was I was backtracking because I was trying to find another plasma pistol. And somehow, unbelievably, I could not find one. So then what I did was I ran all the way back here trying to pick up my DMR that I dropped earlier, and I couldn't find it. I couldn't find anything. So that was just kind of a waste of time, which is why I sped up the footage. So I'm going to go back here and pick up the assault rifle. I have a pistol and an assault rifle, and as I said at the beginning of this walkthrough, the assault rifle is useless, especially at long distances, and especially against elites. So I'm in kind of a tough bind here. But we got to make do with what we have, so you're going to see that I end up taking both of these elites out with nothing but my pistol. And ultimately, I'm glad this happened, because I don't want people thinking that the only way I can kill an elite is using the plasma pistol trick. So I'm about to show you I can take these guys out with any weapon you give me. So here we go. Even though I'm far away, I'm just going to scope the gun, go for headshots and only headshots to get that shield down. Eventually, it will go down, and then all it will take is one more headshot to finish off the job. Now, unfortunately, I don't think I killed him, but he kind of ran away and made it impossible to shoot him. So I'm going to make my way down this path here. Now, I'm just being overly patient because I don't want to get killed at this point, because I'm very close to the end of the level. And finally, look at that, I found the plasma pistol, so now I'm going to use this. So, you know, I could have killed that guy with just my pistol, but at the end of the day, I'm going to take the easier route. Did I kill the... I can't tell if I killed one of them. I think I did kill the one with just my pistol, and then this one I used the plasma pistol. So I did kill one of the elites with nothing but a pistol, so there is that, at least. And now I got the checkpoint, and now we're approaching the end of the level. However, before I can finish this off, there are 2 jackals left to deal with. I'm kind of glad, because I sat there and said that I can kill an elite with any weapon, and then I didn't know if I killed that first guy, but it turns out I did kill him, so everything is fine. And with all of these guys now taken care of, we are good to move on to the end of the level. I want to thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of the walkthrough so far. Like and subscribe if you get the chance. And just make your way down the end of this path here, take out this grunt, and I will see you in the next level.
Jackpot. Transmitting visual. You've seen this, Cat?
Confirmed. Receiving Nova 3 and Nova 6 live visual of a Covenant strike force.
That's no strike force. It's an invading army. If we're gonna smother this thing, we need to go in hard and fast.
Agreed. All recon teams disengage and fall back. Sun will be up in a few hours, and it's going to be a very busy day.